Lineups for Duke. Four guards with their alignment. Ashlyn Jackson off of that career best 30-point performance, a 30-piece for her, averaging 16 points a game. Alongside Jaden Donovan, Taina Mayer, Reagan Richardson, and the forward is Delaney Thomas, who will have her hands full to say the least, with the outstanding center Reagan Beers of Oklahoma averaging 19 points and 10 boards per game. The rest of the lineup, point guard is Nevaeh Tot, Peyton Verhulst. You have got Skylar Vann and Sahara Williams. Ball in the air, and we are underway from Lee's Family Forum in Henderson, Nevada. Underneath, they feed it inside. Beers for a quick two.
Well, wasted no time getting Reagan Beers involved. Verhulst with the lob pass down low. Reagan Beers lays it in.
Beers averaging 17 points per game. Here's Reagan Richardson. Kick outside. Here's Taina Mayer. Thomas, shot clock is down to 4. Down to 3. Jackson, does she get it off? She does, but she throws up an air ball. And the Oklahoma Sooners bench and their fans behind them erupt. Nice stop.
Well, the word of our pregame talk was pressure, and that was ball pressure, team pressure by the Sooners, forcing them into a shot clock violation.
Van up top, high post. Here's Beers. Down the low block. Easy lay-in for 2. Sahara Williams.
Little high-low there. Reagan Beers showing off her ability to pass out of the high post.
Someone was telling me pronunciations. They go, Sahara like the desert. I go, no, Sahara like the hotel. We are so jaded here in Las Vegas.
Also, Sahara is a main road here in Vegas.
And a main road, too, with a lot of traffic, so
yes.
I didn't want to get into that. So we've got a foul on that whistle underneath. It's denied. Breaking out of there is Verhulst, all the way up, under, off glass. No, one and done, and a nice rebound in the rip by Jaden Donovan of the Duke Blue Devils. And that quick pull-up, and that's going to drop for Jaden Donovan. So Donovan end-to-end as she gets the finish.
Smooth-looking shot there by Jaden Donovan. Pull up in the paint.
There's Verhulst outside, and she throws it away. So I was talking to Jenny Baranczyk, head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, and I asked her about Peyton Verhulst. And the other day I said, you know, she played pretty well in the first half and tapered off a little in the second. And she said, oh, don't you worry about her. She's a middle child. She always gets hers.
I absolutely love that quote. I think you said the middle child of 6.
Middle of 6.
So I'm the middle of 4, so I understand that. But that's even a next level, being the middle child of 6.
Reagan Richardson with the bucket for 2. We're tied up at 4 apiece. Lob pass going underneath to Skylar Vann, and then outside, that's Beers for 3.
Reagan Beers showing off her range. When you have a center that can stretch the floor and knock down the 3, it adds a whole nother dynamic to your offense.
Here's a wide open look from deep, and that falls off the iron for Richardson. And out of bounds, the ball will go back to Oklahoma.
Just a huge 3 there. We saw the tail end of Reagan Beers' 3. Like I said, when you have a center that can stretch the floor and knock down the 3, Reagan Beers has such exceptional touch from distance.
Head coach of the Duke Blue Devils is Carol Lawson, season number 5, and holder of 12, count them, 12 Olympic gold medals.
That's GOAT status right there.
Going to get a hold underneath. And that was easy to call there. Delaney Thomas holding Reagan Beers, and Beers gets good position inside. Wholesale substitutions. In our conversation with Lawson, talking about the Olympic Games and that experience, I found it interesting that she said this was a huge learning experience for her, even though she's been to the Olympics a number of times.
Yeah, just really interesting perspective, because you think of the Olympics experience for the players, you don't really think about the coaching, right? But she's around all these great coaching minds, and she said it was such a learning experience for her.
Underneath, Fournier into the lineup, and she gets hammered, and she'll go to the free throw line for two. Congrats to her. The USBWA, United States Basketball Writers Association, Freshman of the Week. And she dunked in the pregame, and those stinking refs got in front of us, and we missed it. I want to see it in the game.
So disappointed. We've seen it online, at least those viral videos of her dunking in high school, but well-deserved award for Toby Fournier. I mean, only a freshman, but man, is she having a solid start to her career.
Averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds per game. Back to Lawson, she said, if you're a college coach, it's hard to get repetitions to coach in the summertime. And so that's what the Olympic experience did for her. Interesting perspective. Lob pass underneath, finish for Holst. High-low just working to perfection for the Sooners. Now up 9-5. But look how quick Duke gets down the floor. Jackson pull up over 2 defenders. No. Collision. Bodies hit the floor. Rebounding foul on Jaden Donovan.
And Jaden Donovan does not agree with the call, going up to the referee and trying to state her case. A little boo-birds from the fans as well. Duke fans not happy with that call.
So now the full court pressure being applied by Duke, and they wreak havoc. They are so active all over the court. You will see a ton of switching going on. You will see them gamble and try to come up with steals. So let's see how this is attacked as Zaya Van comes into the game, and the layup underneath. 2 more for Peyton Verhulst.
And what an answer by Oklahoma. Duke was denying the passing lanes. Verhulst saw that, went backdoor, made it look easy for the lay-in.
11-5, Oklahoma with the lead. Duke needs to get Ashlyn Jackson started. She calls for the Fournier screen. Richardson from 3-point distance, front of the iron and off. Good job rebounding, Zaya Van, the freshman. Outside, they tee it up. That's Skylar Van for 3.
Gorgeous extra pass by Lexi Keys. She can shoot the 3. She had an open look, but saw that her teammate Skylar Van had a better one.
Oh, and a triple on the other end for Jordan Wood. Wood really did not play much in the game here on Monday. And the steal by Duke in the lane. Reagan Richardson with the finish. And look here, that lead is cut down to 5.
Defense turning into offense. Duke averaging 13 steals a game. There's another one.
Here's Wood ahead of the field, lay it up for 2 more in transition.
Man, Tony, the pace of this game is so quick. We can barely finish our thoughts before we're moving on to the next bucket.
I don't have many thoughts. I'm just watching basketball with you here courtside. Glad that everyone could be tuning in right here on Flow Hoops. Outside, and just throwing up a shot from the perimeter with Skylar Van. And off the miss, we've got a whistle and a foul and a very fast tempo. 4:58 to go, opening quarter. They called it a 2 with a foot on the line, so she's got 4 points. Oklahoma Sooners leading Duke 14-11, and Oklahoma shooting 67%, 63% for Duke, just as advertised. Oh, you gotta love the pace.
I absolutely love it. Duke on a 6-0 run over the last 51 seconds.
Nice pass underneath, reverse lay-in. Toby Fournier.
Make that an 8-0 run. What a move by Fournier underneath the bucket, using the rim to protect her from the defender.
Duke now doing a good job of denying that entry pass, a whistle away from the ball. And I think that's on Fournier. First personal on Fournier, but they are doing a good job of denying that post pass. It's led to some turnovers created.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we talked about pressure. Both teams apply pressure, ball pressure, denying the passing lanes, and we're seeing that by both teams early on.
Underneath Beers, her shot is rejected, out of bounds. Jordan Wood She tried to chest bump Reagan Beers after the rejection. What was that?
I love it.
Everyone's really hyped.
Going up against an All-American and getting the block.
So a half-court set, something you're not going to see often today. Wood, they got the paint touch. Richardson back to Wood, left-handed layup for two.
What a feed by Reagan Richardson, threading the needle to the cutting wood. Gorgeous dime.
Here's Keys up top. 15-14 Duke. Three-second violation. So yes, you want those paint touches, but you can't stay camped out there.
Exactly, leading to another Oklahoma turnover. They now have 4 on the day.
DeJesus, Vanessa DeJesus. Got to root for her. She comes off of that knee injury. Missed the entire season a year ago. Here's Ashlyn Jackson looking to get started. Drives baseline. The deflection out of bounds. Last touch by, I think that was Liz Scott underneath the basket with 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. They definitely need to start getting Ashlyn Jackson into a rhythm here.
And Duke still riding that run. It's now a 10-0 run over 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Shot is blocked underneath and out of bounds. So I was asking Jenny Baranchek. She played 14 players in the game the other day, and I said, well, you need to utilize all of them. She goes, there's not enough minutes in the game with all the talent she has, so she has to try to distribute minutes, but she definitely wants to go 12 deep. At what point do you start to maybe narrow that rotation?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, that's a good problem to have, right, Tony? Having too much talent on your roster as Scott gets the bucket inside. But, yeah, going back to your point, I think it's still fairly early in the season, right? So you're still figuring out lineups. I mean, this team returned they lead the nation in return scoring. 98% of last year's scoring is intact this year, so a lot of returners, but she's still feeling it out.
Jackson for three.
Again, I can't finish thoughts here, but Jackson knocks down the three.
So seesaw battle, and now Duke goes up by 2. Huge screen, underneath spin move, and the finish by Reagan Beers.
Beautiful footwork there by Reagan Beers, putting it in spin cycle and getting the finish.
So Vanessa DeJesus driving on the baseline, and she will pick up a foul here. So that was good. All sorts of players coming in. Oluche Okinawa comes in for the Duke Blue Devils team. And look at her, she just rammed right into Beers. This is so physical. So Okinawa on the perimeter. Jackson with that first three-pointer. DeJesus on the kick out, and a baseline air ball was thrown up from the perimeter by Cotton into the game, and off the miss. Here we go back the other way, tied up at 18 apiece. Jackson looking for an outlet. Up top, Jordan Wood has given this Duke team some good energy, much needed.
Yeah, she has the length, and they're going to need her to provide that off the bench, especially here tonight as they are facing Reagan Beers.
You get the feeling that Duke doesn't want to get into the track meet. Jackson is knocked down by Verhulst, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Tony. They're trying to control the pace, right? They know that Oklahoma loves to run this run and gun, get out and transition. As we're seeing, Duke is trying to set it up in half court, run their half court set, slow it down, and control the pace the way they like to play.
Verhulst with her first personal foul, team fouls, each team with 3 apiece. And Jackson connecting on the first of 2. She's got 4 points, and Jenny Baranchek was just raving about the game. She said, you know, we're going to try to do whatever we can to disrupt her, but she goes, you can only do that so much.
Exactly. Going into a game against her, you know you can't shut her down. All you can try to do is potentially slow her down.
Beers trigger from 3-point range. This time she's off. She's 1 for 2 from there. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Skylar Vann. eventually, do you think this officiating crew will let them play?
I hope. I mean, the battle down low, I'm one of the people that love to see refs let things go, just as long as they're calling it evenly.
In the lane, Richardson counted at one. Off the drive, nifty move. Reagan Richardson, a chance for three.
Look at this move here and the strength and body control to finish that one after absorbing the contact. And we talked to Coach Kara Lawson about Reagan Richardson pregame of the first game, and she just raved about Reagan Richardson, about how she's such a coachable player and how important she is to this lineup as she knocks down the free throw to make it a three-point play. But she talked about how important she is to the dynamic of this team.
Pressure. It'll stay the same way with the Sooners. My goodness. So like you screen the screener, right? They say to do that, and that is the philosophy sometimes. Do you press the presser?
You could, yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Does that make any sense?
100%, definitely.
Verhulst. And underneath, down low, the lob play, and Reagan Beers finishes it off. Reagan Beers now with 9 points in this game, 9 of the 20 for OU. 3-point lead for Duke. I don't think there's going to be much breathing room. DeJesus. Oh, big screen by Cotton up top. Here's DeJesus. And then Okinawa popping out underneath Cotton. Feeds it off in the lane, and the finish by Jordan Wood.
What a pass by Cotton to see Wood cutting their eyes in the back of her head.
6 points now. Make that 8 points for Jordan Wood. And one and done for the Sooners.
And here come the Blue Devils.
We got a whistle underneath the basket as Richardson might have had some control problems with the basketball. 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Up tempo, upbeat. So much fun to watch. And right now, Duke is getting the best of Oklahoma.
Well, Tony, we were talking pregame about how this is arguably, if not the best women's basketball game on today. It's the only top 15 matchup across the board, either men's or women's. So this one has lived up to the hype here, no doubt.
83% free throw shooter from last season. And Reagan Richardson had 16 against Kansas State on this floor back on Monday. And they build the lead up to 7. So this is a little bit of a surprise. Verhulst. She's a really good perimeter shooter, so Duke is trying not to let her breathe much. 13 seconds on the clock. Verhulst. High post Liz Scott. Back to Verhulst. Looks to create. 5 fadeaway jumper is out of bounds. Air ball. And there's 9/10 of a second to go.
Peyton Verhulst tapping her chest saying, my bad after that one. That's senior leadership right there.
And so that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 1. Duke with a 7-point lead over the Sooners of Oklahoma. Stay with us for the second quarter of today's action. The two Reagans are the leaders. Scoring leaders, Reagan Richardson of Duke with 9 for Reagan Beers of Oklahoma. What are the chances of having two Reagan as Okinawa has it up top? A turnaround there for Richardson, no. Oh, what a rebound. And then underneath, they can't finish. Okinawa had it underneath, could not finish. Thomas throws a pass that's intercepted. First deflected, and here they come. Sarah Williams with the deflection underneath Beers, and she's going to get wrapped up by Reagan Richardson. Between quarters, you were commenting to me about the coaching of Kara Lawson and what a difference it makes on both of these benches to have really good elite coaches.
Yeah, the coaching, like you said, is so elite. This matchup alone, Jenny Baranchek and Kara Lawson, both future Hall of Famers for sure.
The two Vans are fighting for the basketball. Zaya almost came up with it off the miss from Skylar Van. Outside again, shooting and filling it up is Jordan Wood.
Jordan Wood, a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. She now has 11.
It's incredible. I mean, she's averaging 8 and 5, and she is playing big in a very big game. Williams underneath, and a foul once again in the post as they went inside to Peyton Verhulst, did the Sooners of Oklahoma, the Louisville transfer.
Here's a replay of Jordan Wood's 3 rising up. No hesitation there.
Liz Scott, it's got to close a little bit better there. I'm sure that that's something that head coach Jenny Baranchek will say.
Exactly. Hand down, man down.
Top, here's Beers, guarded by Thomas. Verhulst, see the switch there. And the deflection underneath, and the steal by Jordan Wood. Back the other way, Mayer underneath, reverse lay in 2 for Delaney Thomas.
Oh, what a feed by Mayer. She's averaging 3 assists a game. That one was a
Duke star, standout, and of course from the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA, the team here, pro team. Caught up with her. You caught up with her the other day. She's doing quite well in the offseason.
She really is. Obviously now a mom, but 3-time WNBA champ, one of Duke's all-time greats.
So another turnover. So far, Jordan Wood. I think that this game, the complexion changed, if you will, when Duke settled in and started to play in the half-court set.
Yeah, you made a really good point about them changing the tempo, slowing it down, and that's exactly what they've done.
Here's Tot with the steal. Tot ahead of the field, lay it up. No, she blows a layup. She had Verhulst trailing, but she went 1-on-2. Reagan Richardson pull up on the baseline, 2. That's money from Reagan Richardson.
She now has 11.
Beers can't handle it, thrown out of bounds. A little bit too deep. So I was asking Jenny Baranchek yesterday about this meeting, and she said, in all my coaching career, I've never played against Duke. So she made some calls around, they found some film, and they had to do a quick turnaround to try to figure out how to get things in order for this game.
And it had to be a quick turnaround, right? I mean, obviously you know going into a tournament who your potential matchups could be, but that's quite interesting because she's been a head coach, obviously with Drake for some time and now at Oklahoma for some years, and this is her first matchup against Duke.
Long-range jumper is off the mark from deep in the corner, and that was Richardson. No, that was Wood right outside. In any event, ball goes back over to Oklahoma, trailing by 14. Early on, we had 3 lead changes. We had a couple of ties. There was really no breathing room. High-low this time, it's Verhulst underneath, and she throws it up, and it goes in, finally, over Jackson.
What a finish by Peyton Verhulst underneath the basket, a little reverse.
And they switched their roles outside and deep. Jackson for 3.
Just a big-time answer there by Ashlyn Jackson. She now has 2 threes on the game, 8 points.
And we've seen this act before once she gets into the rhythm, right? On Monday, we saw her. And the pull-up by Sahara Williams for 2. Now, Oklahoma needs to get some stops.
Exactly. With this deficit, they cannot start trading buckets. They have to step up defensively. And as you mentioned, Tony, get some stops.
Taina Mayer and Jackson now. Jackson and Thomas back to Jackson. This time it's long. Beers fights for it. Or rather, underneath the basket, Skylar Van tips it to Beers. And back the other way we do go. Sooners have not pressed very much in this game.
It's a really good point. We've seen some pressure, full court pressure from Duke.
Oh my. From 28 feet outside on the angle, and she buries it.
A logo 3 there.
That's how you get back in the game.
Huge shot by Peyton Verhulst.
Here's Mayer off the switch, and the kick outside. Richardson for 3. Ring that baby up.
Man, what an answer by Reagan Richardson. 14 points early on here in the first half.
And that turnaround by Van is good. Skylar Van. Skylar Van with a game. This Oklahoma team's been here for almost a week, right? Because they played at UNLV last Friday, and they came into town a day early. She had 15 and 5 against UNLV, and she was a plus 29. I mean, stay with us on this game. There's Richardson on the pull-up from deep, because this Sooner team is explosive late in games in the second half. Baseline jumper, no good for Skylar Van. Raina Scott is into the game for the Sooners of Oklahoma. Here's Jackson. Jackson through traffic. Jackson the kick out outside. And the three-pointer for Jordan Wood.
Jordan Wood is just unconscious here today. A perfect 6 for 6 from the field. That's her second 3-ball. She has 14.
You know, I was looking up Wood, and off that miss, a long rebound. We're going to get a foul on the perimeter, and this will go against Sahara Williams. But Jordan Wood played an average last season of about 5 minutes per game. She's got 12 minutes today, and she's scored 14 points on 6 out of 6. 2 3-point field goals so far.
Talk about efficient. 14 points in 12 minutes. She gets a much-needed rest right now.
Mayer up top. Spread the court. Look for a cutter. There's a high screen by Thomas. Mayer got free. Now the dribble penetration by Donovan, loses the handle. Stolen. Zaya Van. Double dribbles, I have to believe. Or no, they had a reach-in foul. And did you see she dribbled the ball with 2 hands? I'm a good referee. Well, at least I don't block people from watching a women's player dunk the ball.
Yeah, that was disappointing. We heard the cheers, and we were like, what's going on? And our producer was like, oh, yeah, by the way, she just threw down. So, yeah. She better do it in the game. She better do it in the game.
She can dunk the basketball at 6'2", Toby Fournier. If I were 7 feet, I probably couldn't dunk the ball. There's Raina Scott into the contest. And now the dribble drive and drawing the foul. That was a nice drive for Zaya Van, and Van will go to the free throw line.
Really strong drive there by the freshman, getting something going offensively, not only for herself. That's her first field goal attempt here today, but also for Oklahoma.
Peyton Verhulst with 9 for Oklahoma, 14 to lead Duke for Jordan Wood in a reserve role. First free throw was good by Zaya Van, 5'9" freshman, Edmond, Oklahoma. Rebound, Fournier rips it out of the hands of Liz Scott. DeJesus. The pass underneath, and the finish for 2. Jaden Donovan.
Beautiful post up, using her body, finding the position. and just making it look easy down low.
It has to be the largest deficit for Oklahoma. In their first few games, they never even trailed. Zaya Van finds an outlet. Skylar Van in the lane, up off glass, and a travel. Travel before that shot. 14-point lead for Duke. So you were on the call of that UNLV-Oklahoma game, and at halftime, the Sooners trailed. They were up by 1. It was a 1-point lead. Second half, they blew the doors off of UNLV. So we know that they have that potential in them. Oklahoma defeated its first 5 opponents by 30 or more points. By 30 or more. That personal foul against Zaya Van. Very few fouls. 4 for Duke, 2 for OU. Clean game so far.
Exactly. And to go back to your point about Oklahoma being able to score and score fast, I mean, they return bringing back all 5 starters and 11 winners from last season. So they have the experience, right? They've been in multiple situations. So a double-digit deficit's not going to phase this team.
5-second count was the call. Kirsten Johnson into the game. Beers looks for an outlet. We saw Johnson, she can play, and Scott on the drive is fouled in the act of shooting. So Raina Scott will go to the free throw line, the 5'10 junior out of New York City and Nazareth High School. (44-30) is the score. Duke on top. Free throw rolls out for Raina Scott. It's a Duke Blue Devil team that averages more than 80 points per game. Their only loss at number 11, Maryland, 85-80. Duke trailed in that game 9-0 at the beginning.
And not a smart foul there by Zaya Van as she is subbed out so far from the basket. You got to be more disciplined in those situations.
Second personal foul on Zaya Van, so she'll take a seat with 2:39 to go here in the second quarter. Big question is who will step up for the Oklahoma Sooners. They're trailing by 13. Mayer. Here's Richardson. Richardson into the lane. Nice bounce pass underneath. Can they get the finish? No, by Jaden Donovan. Kicked out of there. Raina Scott on the run. Hesitation dribble in the lane. Over to top, up top, and they'll reset. A deflection and a near steal. Top. What a play. Let's see what they're calling a timeout for. They just stopped the clock in the middle of the play.
And that benefits Duke. That was such a... Bodies were all over the place. Duke was not set up defensively once Oklahoma finally gained possession, but I'm still not sure what the call is on the floor.
So they're going over to the monitor behind us to take a look, and we'll keep it right here. So they're going to need some scoring, the Sooners. And they're going to have to find someone to step up here. Could be Peyton Verhulst. It could, obviously, Reagan Beers. But as we mentioned, Duke has done a pretty good job since they got burned a couple of times early on in denial.
Game option, but they absolutely have to cut this into this deficit before halftime.
7, 19 on the shot clock. Take 7 off. We're going to have 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Take 7 off, 12 seconds on the shot clock. It was a shot clock issue. Sorry for the feedback there. Took my headset off to talk to Mr. Official. Carol Lawson, a WNBA, an Olympic champ, all that. A 2020 assistant coach with the Celtics. And then with the Washington Wizards, she also was on the TV side as a game and studio analyst. So
Yeah,
she's well-versed. She just lives and breathes basketball.
She's such a great basketball mind.
My goodness.
So smart, so cerebral. She's so interesting to talk to.
And here comes a steal. Okinawa ahead of the field. Shot rejected by Beers. She couldn't keep it in bounds. And it'll still be retained by the Duke Blue Devils.
But that is 9 turnovers by the Oklahoma Sooners here in the first half.
Still, you cannot count out Oklahoma the way that they play. And they really have not put on a ton of pressure. Low block. There's Donovan on the short corner. Mayer with a little floater high off the glass, and it rolls in.
What beautiful touch. Reagan Beers standing at 6'4", had her arm outstretched, but Mayer able to float it up over.
They look for the high-low, and a takedown in the lane.
Oh, no. Reagan Beers is grabbing her right knee.
Oh, geez. She's wincing in pain.
Well, it appears to be her ankle, her right ankle. They're fixing the shoelace, trying to tighten it.
Fournier, I think, was backpedaling, and Beers backpedaled into her trying to set up in the post. And here comes Jenny Baranczyk out to check on her star player, Beers, the transfer from Oregon State. Baranczyk says that they were in on Beers before she committed to go to Corvallis, Oregon. And then when things sort of imploded there and 8 players left that Oregon State program, Beers finally said, okay, I'm going to go to Oklahoma and play for the Sooners. So hopefully it's not that bad for Beers. She's hobbling off a little bit, and hopefully she will be okay. So it's another monitor check coming up here to see if there was anything flagrant that occurred there. It just appeared to me that it was 2 players trying to battle for position, and I think that it was Beers that sort of fell backwards onto Fournier.
Yeah, I think the best sign there, though, if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan, is that Reagan Beers, although it seems she is limping slightly, that she is walking off under her own power. Initially, that did not look good. She was screaming in pain, but that's a huge positive to see her walking it off, putting weight on it. Although gingerly, that's an excellent sign for Oklahoma.
Yeah, she faked me out there. I thought she was walking into the dressing room, but now she's on the stationary bike there in the corner. And so now they need another eye on this to see what the call might be. But a 15-point lead for Duke. I did not expect to see one side prevailing over the other, especially in the first half. Thought there might be a feeling out process or what have you. And Duke, again, changed this game and the tempo of this game by going into the half-court set rather than racing up and down with the Sooners.
They made that a point of emphasis to control the tempo, and you're the one who pointed that out, Tony, where, the first couple minutes of this one was an all-out track meet, and that obviously favors Oklahoma. That's the way they like to play, the run and gun. And Duke immediately put a stop to that and said, you guys can go ahead and try to run. We're going to set up our half court. We're going to run our sets. And that's where exactly what you said, Tony, where the complexion of the game completely shifted into Duke's favor. It also helps when you're shooting 60% from the field and 57% from behind the arc, 4 of 7 from 3. So offensively, they're definitely feeling it. And then defensively, they have forced Oklahoma into 9 turnovers. So they're getting it done on both ends of the court.
Duke, now no field goals in the last 4 minutes of play here. So now they go to the bench, and they're going to talk to both coaches.
And not only is Duke causing those turnovers, but they're capitalizing on them. They have 10 points off of turnovers, so they're getting out in transition. They're scoring those easy buckets after the turnovers, so they're capitalizing on Oklahoma's miscues. And again, this is a team that gets in the passing lane. They average 13 steals per game, forcing their opponents into 22 turnovers on the season. So this is the style of ball that Duke Blue Devils like to play.
I think Carol Lawson's drinking coffee over there out of one of those thermoses.
That's my style right there. You can never have enough caffeine, in my opinion.
Exactly. And I read her lips, and all she said was, what? And then she went on to some sort of a dissertation after that. So they are calling a flagrant foul here.
Oh, is that the call? I would love to see if there's a replay. It might be, did the Duke defender have Reagan Beers hooked? Is that where?
It was Fournier underneath, and all I saw, if we can pull up a replay, that would be phenomenal. But the first free throw is good by Verhulst.
Here
we
it
go.
is. Oh.
I don't know. I didn't see much there. I mean, other than the usual jostling for position.
And Tony, that is why we are not referees, and we just
Very
sit
true.
here and get to critique the refereeing.
It was pretty funny, though, in talking to Lawson and about her team, and she just throws in there, of course they're smart. They go to Duke.
Right?
Yes,
Kind
of
of
course,
like
we know.
Like a little eye roll in there, like, you know we're Duke, right?
Yeah, you know who you're talking to right now.
In a respectful way, though.
Verhulst.
It was very respectful, but it was just funny the way it was like, oh, yeah, of course.
Nice possession there. 4-point possession cuts the lead down to 11. And now a scramble, of course, for Oklahoma defensively. Here's Tott defending up top on Mayer. Those two are fun to watch. Good ball handlers. Around a screen, Richardson. That's going to bound out. Verhulst gets the rebound. So Verhulst will have to try to lead this team as they cut the lead from 15 down to 11. It's about a 16-second differential. Game and shot clock. So we're winding down here. Skylar Van, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Raina Scott looking to create. Down to 3, down to 2. She gets the shot off, but that was short. And now Duke will have a crack at the basket here with 10 seconds remaining. Taina Mayer. She'll pull up 3-point range. It was on target, hits the back of the rim, and that's going to do it for half number 1. Highly, highly entertaining, and a battle between two great coaches, all sorts of super players out there. Everyone's excelling. The numbers are high, the scoring is high, and as I said before, Duke with an 11-point lead, but don't go away because the Sooners can explode at a moment's notice.
They definitely can. As you mentioned, against UNLV, just a 1-point game at the half. They opened the third quarter on a 16-0 run, and they didn't look back. So Oklahoma has the offensive prowess to do that.
Of course, I'm smart. I'm Tony Cardasco, along with Kevin E. Martin. We're at the break here in Henderson, Nevada at Lee's Family Forum. A nice little quaint arena that holds 5,500. Great to see fans traveling to Las Vegas to enjoy this matchup and this week's with a 46-35 lead over Oklahoma. And in that first half of play, we saw that this was a Duke team that was led in the scoring column by a 14-point performance for Reagan Richardson, 13 for Jordan Wood, who came into the ballgame and made a huge impression. She's still 6 out of 6, 13 points for Peyton Verhulst of Oklahoma. And Reagan Beers, that's a good sign. She's back on the court. She had a really tough spill, and they get the foul on Beers. She tried to set a screen, but she was not set. We've seen that called most frequently here. I think that call with the moving screen. So as teams now, this is also a learning experience when they go back and they start to play, especially in conference. They're going to learn a lot about setting screens and what it takes.
Exactly. Really good point.
Give and go. And the finish by Thomas underneath off the feed from Ashlyn Jackson.
Beautiful feed in that first half. Duke had 18 field goals off 18 assists. They're now 19 field goals off 19 assists.
The save and then the bucket, the finish for Sahara Williams of Oklahoma. So Williams in the game now with 6 points. She's perfect, 3 out of 3 from the field. Here come the Sooners. Verhulst deep in the corner, Tot, and that's going to be long. Battle for the rebound, Skylar Van. We told you from half to half they were a different team. Williams, she wasn't set for that shot, and she just hits the side of the iron. One and done there off of that miss. An 11-point lead for Duke. And we've got another whistle away from the ball. The biggest question that I have to ask you, Kevin, is have you seen Jenny Baranchek's daughter in the stands? Jordy, okay, oh, you even know her name. So tell the story. So she went viral, right, in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, so last season, if you remember when Oklahoma was playing in the tournament, we actually got the full story from Oklahoma's SID, Josh. He told us that the network reached out to Jenny to see if she or a player wanted to be, as Peyton Verhulst goes there for a tough shot, can't get it to fall. Duke back the other way.
Transition bucket for Jaden Donovan.
And Jenny runs a tight ship over at Oklahoma, saying, no, we don't want, microphones in the locker room, anything like that. And again, Peyton Verhulst, excuse me, on the 2. Long story short, she decided that it was okay to get her daughter mic'd up, and Jordy stole the show, long story short. She went viral, screaming at the top of her lungs. She's a lot like her mom, right? She gets it from her mom. She's fiery, animated, but yes, Jordy and her siblings, all 3 of them, she has 4 children, are all in attendance here today.
They find the back cut, and now deep in the corner, Richardson off iron, tapped around, and the board to Sahara Williams. Yes, the mannerisms are just like mom. That's what she was doing, was emanating her mom with all those mannerisms.
Coaching
so right now,
is definitely in Jordy's future.
It's definitely, yeah. She's like, get the stop. What are we doing out there? It's like, where would you get that from other than mom?
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Richardson goes down hard, and she's still shaken up. They need a stoppage and play here. My goodness.
And Kara Lawson is not happy, stomping her feet, screaming at the referee. I think she was upset that she let the play go on and there was no stoppage of play. Now she wants a review.
You very rarely see Kara Lawson that heated. She's really heated as her star player goes down, and it looks as though she took a shot in the face. She has a towel over her face. They're going to come over and check a review. Now, I did not see that entire play. I just saw her just take a pounding, and the basket, the completion of the bucket was by Peyton Verhulst. So that we know. We saw the basket, and it's down to a 9-point lead. So Oklahoma, here they come, right?
Making that second half run right now. 6 points here early on, cutting it to a 9-point deficit. Again, never count Oklahoma out. They can put a string of points together and do it fast by the way that they play. Fast-paced, run-and-gun type style.
4 returning starters for the Duke Blue Devils on the other side. And the one thing that Lawson has said is that you have a base level with these players. They understand the terminology because they've had players that have been with this program and have had success, and she thinks that that's important to have that core, if you will. Duke also with the number 7 recruiting class in women's college basketball.
Yeah, I love the comment that Kara Lawson said. You know, she's very blunt, right? She just says it how it is. And we were talking about Duke was off to a couple slow starts there at the beginning of the season, and we asked the question, like, what do you say? What do you say to your team in those situations? Play better?
Yeah, just play better. They know.
They
They
know.
know. They're smart. They go to Duke.
They go to Duke.
They're very smart.
I love it. She tells it how it is.
Exactly. And I need that to get put in my place, as you can tell, right here on this broadcast today. So the officials right in front of us are talking it over. And did they see anything? Did our folks see anything back there? They need some good, solid bench scoring. Fast breaks, 12-0 Duke. Okay, say that again, just so our
So they
listeners-
did review the play, and they said that there was nothing excessive, no intentional foul on the play.
I was just
A basketball play.
a basketball play. We'll take a break. An 11-point lead for Duke. Stay with us. 7:28 to go in the third quarter.
Picture your business running like a well-oiled machine. That's the magic of Jobber, a home service software that turns your vision into a reality. This Black Friday, get up to 50% off Jobber and transform the way you run your business today.
Lawson, and this was the play.
In my opinion, that's just a basketball play.
All right. Well,
In my
hopefully,
humble opinion, no one cares about my opinion.
hopefully Richardson is okay.
She did come back to the bench, and I did see that the crowd cheered. So she's back on the bench with a Kleenex to her lip.
Mayer
Ooh.
triggers from distance for three. Tiana Mayer with the bucket for three.
She now has 5 to go along with 6 assists. And an answer by the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, Skylar Vann.
Big players step up on a stage like this. 21 field goals for Duke, 21 assists, 21 buckets,
is
and 21 assists. That's
the
unheard of.
Definition of team ball.
Behind the back for Sahara Williams on the wing. Verholz lets it fly. Scramble for the rebound. Nice pass underneath, and that is Williams for 2 off the feed from Skylar Vann. And away we go.
Like
Tempo
you said,
picking up.
Tony, here come the Sooners.
Fournier, she'll draw the foul. And so this week's National Freshman of the Week, according to U.S. Basketball Writers Association, Toby Fournier is going to the free throw line. Oh, man, these coaches are they're coaching their butts off. I don't know how else to say it, but they're just like so into this game. 2 competitors.
And it trickles down to their players, right? We're seeing the competitiveness on the court. Tough plays, bodies on the floor, players getting elbowed, this and that. And you can see it's a direct reflection of how their coaches, the intensity and how they coach the game.
This is tournament hoops.
Exactly.
This is tournament basketball right here. So back up to a 9-point advantage. Whistle away from the ball. And the Sooners are going to draw a foul. And that foul will go on Tiana Mayer. First personal. And just the second team foul. Please do not let a game like this be decided at the free throw line. That's it. That's my PSA.
I second that.
Comes in up top. Skylar Vann outside. Verholz, and then the feed underneath, and the finish for Liz Scott.
What a move. She felt her defender on her back, put it in spin cycle, made the easy lay-in.
Near steal. Here's Mayer. Tot hounding her. Tot is all over her. And now off the switch. switch the switcher too. Oh, that ball is just taken away. Jump ball. They will keep it. Possession arrow going in the direction of Duke. But I thought that was a clean pack, if you will.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. Peyton Verhulst looked like a solid defensive play by her.
Jackson, shot clock is down to 5. She was backing out. Now she sees the clock. Now she pulls up. Heel the iron and off. And underneath, good hustle. And throwing it up and throwing it in is Oluchi Okinawa. Duke now has made 6 of its last 7 field goal attempts. Lob underneath. Sahara Williams blows a layup whistle foul.
And I was blocked. I wasn't able to see the call. Did you have eyes on that, Tony? I didn't have a clear line of vision.
It was just another ticky-tack foul, late whistle underneath. There we go.
Here it is.
No, we missed that one, but okay. But we got that shot on Reagan Richardson. A little bit of a shoulder lean in there on the part of, I think it was Liz Scott. So Sahara Williams with that lower body strength. Misses on the first attempt, and there's her second, which is good. So Williams averaging 14 points and 5 rebounds per game. It's just an 8-point lead now for Duke. And here's a steal. And here's Williams ahead of the field, lays it up and in. And we've got a 6-point ball game.
Sahara Williams read that perfectly, picked it off like a cornerback in the open field and took it the other way for 2.
Mayer up top. Under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Fournier, spin, move, jump hook. It's a wild shot, does not go down. Here's Williams back the other way, looking to attack. Lob pass underneath. Nice catch there by Skylar Van. Here's Keys in the lane, whistle, foul on the drive, and this will go against Taina Mayer.
Just a really quick step by
And
Lexi
a technical.
Keys. Oh.
My goodness. Keep your composure, ladies. Long way to go. Vanessa DeJesus will come in. Was that Fournier on the tee? Someone was out there chirping, or maybe Mayer.
I think it was because Kara Lawson is taking her
Mayer.
to the side.
It was Mayer. That's her third personal foul, by the way. Or as the kids say, BT dub. We've got a timeout on the court. Cutting into that 15-point deficit. The lead now down to 6 for the 13th ranked Duke Blue Devils, 57-51. We had that technical foul, and that was assessed against Taina Mayer. Keys misses the free throw. Those are so tough, man. Lexi Keys with the miss, and now she gets a second, and then possession of the basketball. And 1 out of 2. She's shooting foul free throws now. Those kids are screaming over there, the Duke fans. Okay. This is how to cut into a lead real fast here. So 3 out of 4 for Lexi Keys. It is down to a 1-possession game. We have not heard from the Duke Blue Devils' Jordan Wood in a while. They're going to need some offense, but right now they need some defense. Underneath Williams, high off the glass, will not land. Here's Richardson back into the game. Okinawa, and the feet underneath to Richardson off the miss. Underneath, there's a battle for the rebound, and finally they call a foul underneath.
And Jenny Baranchek wanted a travel. Not happy with that call.
I thought it was a held ball situation personally. Janessa Cotton was there for Duke. Cotton on the post up. She falls down. Wood backs it out. DeJesus back into the game. She definitely settles down the Blue Devils. Up top, Okinawa. Shot clock is down to 4. And there's Richardson for 3. Swish! The money shot.
So clutch, Reagan Richardson. She now has 17 on the game.
Big shot in this game. Saved in bounds for Duke. Long outlet pass, Richardson. Cotton the cutter. Back up top, and here goes Jordan Wood. The shot's going to be long and out of bounds. So Richardson, who took either a shoulder or an elbow on a screen, returns to the game. She pops in a 3.
And again, Tony, just like you predicted in the first half, Oklahoma chipping away at the lead. They're now 6 of their last 8 field goals.
Beers, jab step, drop step underneath, and she can't get it to fall, but she doesn't jump for the rebound, but Williams does, and then Williams' floater, it bounced off the top of the rim. A battle underneath again, and they're going to need to break up those 2 players there.
Starting to get a little chippy out there.
Skylar Van and it was Janessa Cotton there tangling. So Verhulst to take it in. Would not be good if this is an empty possession for Oklahoma with all the looks they've had inside. Here's Beers up top. Beers lowers the shoulder. It goes out of bounds. And a whistle and a foul on Reagan Beers.
What a defensive stand by Jordan Wood, setting her feet and drawing the foul. That is 3 on Reagan Beers.
I don't know if she was set, but okay.
Yeah, that was maybe slightly still moving her feet. But again, we are not the refs, Tony.
We aren't? Oh, okay. I thought someone handed me a whistle. Okinawa, she travels. Yeah, nice disruption of that play by Keys of Oklahoma, Lexi Keys, who got a piece of the basketball before it could be passed on the perimeter by Oluchi Okinawa. Underneath, here's Beers. She gets bumped, lays it up, and 1! Reagan Beers with a chance for 3.
And man, earlier on in this game, she was hobbling slightly on that ankle, but showing no signs of pain there as she absorbs the contact, draws the foul, and gets it to fall.
There's going to be a lot of ice on the, I'm not talking jewelry, on this, this trip home on the charters, I'll tell you that.
As Reagan Beers gets the 3-point play, she now has 12.
5 out of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3-point distance in this contest. Kanawa, Cotton, and the cutter underneath was Wood. Wood turnaround jump hook, no. Battle for it, and Beers comes down with it. Her team is trailing by 3. 2:15 to go. Here in the third quarter, from the burbs right outside of Las Vegas in Henderson, Nevada, a deflection picked up by Beers, 14 on the timer. Keys over to Tot. Skylar Van was calling for the ball on the wing on the left side, but the shot clock is down to 5. She's going to have to shoot it, and we got a whistle and we got a foul. Two shots upcoming.
So Duke now on a scoring drought of their own in this second half. A little over 2 minutes without a field goal for the Blue Devils.
And Peyton Verhulst, as we know, the middle of 6 children. So where does that fall? At the 3.5 area? 2-point game. Duke once had that commanding lead of 15 in this game. 3-pointer on the way, and that's not going to be good for Duke. And Ashlon Jackson, who's gone quiet. She has just 8 points off of a career best 30. Beers cannot handle that. Out of bounds, or rather Skylar Van. Van could not handle that.
And just a great idea by Lexi Keys with the lob pass. Just a little too much on it. Just out of the reach of Skylar Van.
A minute 15 to go. Third quarter. Jackson looks for and gets a Jordan Woods screen. Jackson triggers three-point range. High off the rim. Cotton battles for it. Cotton loses that battle. Here comes Peyton Verhulst. Verhulst, lob pass underneath. Here's Beers for the tie. No, she blows a layup. Good defense, though, underneath by Cotton. And Jackson for Duke. Here's DeJesus up top. Kara Lawson has gone with pretty much a lot of the same lineup, and she did shorten her rotation in this game. Paint touch, Cotton, turnaround, jumper two. Janessa Cotton off the bench, gives her team a 4-point lead.
Just a beautiful cut to the paint from Cotton. Jordan finds her in the paint, and she turns and knocks down the jumper.
So the game clock is off. Shot clock down to 15. And you know what I always say, they wait too long to get started for the offense. And here's Verhulst. But they're not going to wait, and they missed the layup underneath Skylar Van. Tapped around, 2 seconds, and that will be the end. Oh! Does that count? Do we count it? The Jackson bucket. Do they count it? Going to video this, your next shot. So I step up at the free throw line. Nothing but the bottom of the net. It counts. Count the bucket. Big play in this game. Huge play. At the end of 3 quarters from Henderson, Nevada and Lee's Family Forum. It is Duke 65, Oklahoma 58. So this, folks, is how the third quarter ended. She's staring me down.
They need to call her Cashlyn Jackson.
Very good. Well played. Ashlyn Jackson with that huge triple now has 11. And here she goes again. The mid-range now with 13. Their team goes back up by 9. Make that a 7-point lead. Liz Scott with the finish. Oh my goodness, that was fun.
And buckle up, Tony. We are in for a fun fourth quarter here at Lee's Family Forum.
Two teams just absolutely battling it out. Jackson around a huge screen. Now they kick it out, and we're in the corner. And Okinawa off the miss. Rebound to Peyton Verhulst. Verhulst with 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 18 points. And we've got a whistle in the lane. That was just tremendous. So in one of the men's games last night, we had another half-court shot. Hers was longer, though.
That was deep. That was a good, I would say, 5 feet behind half court.
Absolutely, yeah. Stare down, best part of that.
Tony will never forget that. That was a highlight of Tony's career. Ashlyn Jackson stare down.
Jaden Donovan, and guess what? Stepped on the sideline, right? Is that the call?
Wow.
Yes, and we were talking about this in the first game.
The color scheme of this court, we were speaking to one of the referees. If it was playing a role, the players weren't realizing that they were out of bounds because of the colors. We're throwing them off.
Yeah, it's not as well shaded as you might imagine. It's at most courts, the sideline. That's Verhulst, and she puts in that mid-range jumper down to a 5-point lead. Quickly.
She continues to produce offensively for Oklahoma. 20 points on the game for Verhulst.
Big players. And there's Jackson. That time her shot is long. Players stepping up in a big position here. Oh, nice pass. Scott underneath. Williams gets hammered. Whistle on the foul there by Jaden Donovan. Second personal on Donovan. So Free throws upcoming. Just when Duke, they have the lead extended, here come the Sooners. Back and forth we go. It's just a 5-point game. Now you need some money plays, and you have to make your free throws here in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. All the small, minute details of a basketball game, turnovers, free throws, taking care of the ball, are amplified in a game like this.
Oh, wide open. That's Scott underneath. And she gets the lay-in for two. Oh, my goodness. Liz Scott, nobody accounted for her. She's not blocked out. She gets the offensive board, and the stick back puts her team within two once again. This is incredible. Jackson up top, and Richardson goes short corner. Nice feed underneath. Nice layup for two. Jaden Donovan.
Gorgeous give and go. Jaden Donovan called that play. She was orchestrating the traffic and then gets paid off with the easy
Here it
layup.
comes. Here it comes. My chance at greatness. Nope. Not going to happen.
The table ruined your chance.
Interfered with that. My chance at greatness. I missed. Well,
If
my
you
only
would've-
chance.
With the stare down and that,
Yes.
you would have. This would have been the best game of your life.
Complete. That would have been the most complete game. That would be the equivalent of a triple-double for me. We just needed one other crazy thing to happen here. A whistle on the drive.
On the floor.
Yep. We need continuation in college basketball, just like the NBA. That would have counted.
Yeah, that was. It should have been a continuation. It looked like she was already in the.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Duke with 3 team fouls so far in the fourth. No team fouls for Oklahoma. The ball was run down by Keys. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Duke. 11 seconds on the shot clock. How many times have we seen the shot clock expire this week? You need to have that recognition. And the crazy thing is you hear the coaches, the bench, everyone yelling it out. The players just don't see it a lot of the times. Raina Scott wanted it in bounds. Up top, Verholtz. Down to 5. You hear the bench calling it out. That pull-up jumper is going to be short by Liz Scott. Vanessa DeJesus running it out of there. Fournier draws the foul. I did not see contact, but okay. Liz Scott will be charged with the personal on the blocking foul. So you could tell that Fournier is still like in her infancy stage. Let's see here. I don't
That's
know.
tough.
Yeah, that's not at this point of the game, right?
Yeah.
Let them
I'm with
play
you.
on.
Exactly.
Say, oh, we've got 2 angles. Yeah, that's not a foul. Sorry to say that. But I think you'll see Fournier as she progresses and just grows into that frame. I think you'll see her just playing smarter and taking that ball more aggressively to the hole.
Yeah, I think that's the scariest thing, right? We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. She's so raw. Once she grows into, like you said, her body and she feels out the game, especially at the college level, the sky's the limit for Toby Fournier.
I was going to say, but she's very smart because she goes to Duke. Beer's pushing off on Fournier. Fournier's like, how can I stop that? Really? Are you kidding me? She can only laugh, really.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do when Reagan Beers puts her shoulder down and goes.
How much better will a player like Fournier be as a result of experience and playing like games this competitive?
Great point. I mean, these are vital minutes
Verholtz for 3.
for players like Toby Fournier. I mean, and she's coming off a game where she went up against Aoka Lee.
Coast to coast, that was Donovan, no. Follow-up, no. Rebound to Tot, the smallest player on the court. And underneath, that's Van. Will it drop? And one! My goodness!
The reigning co-Big 12 player of the year gets
Across-
that one to fall.
Across from us on the other side of the court, Jaden Donovan is down on both knees right there at the scores table. And it was Jenny Baranchek who was calling the officials over. Maybe a cramp, just based on the reaction there. Hard to tell. Well, this 4-point lead could be whittled down to 3. As Skylar Van will go to the free throw line. Yeah, she went down really fast, and I don't know if there was any contact over there.
Yeah, I was completely focused on Skylar Van as she got that bucket to fall, but cheers as Donovan is on her feet and walking under her own power. That is such a relief to see, given I had 6 knee surgeries from my senior year of high school through college,
6
and
knee
4
surgeries.
of them were non-contact.
Seriously. 71-68. You still got the handles, though. Saw the handle today in action there, shooting around. Turnover. Here's Peyton Verhulst. Trigger, 3-point range. Front of the iron, gets a long rebound. Todd is wide open on the wing on the right side. Her 3-pointer won't go down, and Jordan Wood cleans the rebound. 6 minutes to go in an exciting contest here in Henderson, Nevada at Lee's Family Forum. That's going to be out of bounds off of Richardson. Nice deflection. That's what caused that play by Lexi Keys.
Another example of Oklahoma's pressure. Keys getting her hands up, active hands, deflecting it off the Duke player and out of bounds.
5:55 to go. Here's Tot. She's going to be tightly guarded by Vanessa DeJesus. Verhulst, who has 20 points. They have Ashlyn Jackson on her now. Tot popping out. Lob pass underneath. Here's Beers from Van. Lay it up. Left-hander for 2, and we have a ball game now down to 1 point. The lead for Duke. So they whittled it down from 15 down. Oklahoma
outscoring Duke 12-6 in this final frame.
Cotton from the corner. Janessa Cotton with a nice jumper from the corner. And it's a 3-point advantage once again for Duke. Cotton now with 4 points off the bench. And that was a big shot. Under 5 to go. Tot. They clear it out for her. Here's Verhulst for 3. Swish! And Oklahoma ties this game up at 73 apiece. And this is the 3rd tie of the ball game.
Peyton Verhulst having herself a game. 9 of 17, 2 of 6 from behind the arc. She now has 23.
DeJesus. Outside, here's Richardson. Counters with another 3 from the corner.
Reagan Richardson saying, anything you can do, I can do too. Knocking down the 3. Huge answer by Duke.
Tot up top. What a game. Glad that you could be a part of this wherever you're tuning in today. Good way to start this holiday weekend. Although in Vegas, most people took off on Monday because that's what they do. They're lazy. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's a collision between Cotton and Beers, but back the other way. 3-pointer is good for Ashlyn Jackson. Lead back up to 6.
Man, oh man, both teams feeling it right now offensively. Duke on a 6-0 run.
Beers left-handed layup 2. Well, Beers on the post-up is near impossible. 16 on 7 for 12. And they got to just keep feeding her. Duke has made its last 3 field goal attempts. Ashlyn Jackson, a whistle. Carol Lawson is just, she is so intense. These coaches are so into this game, as are we. The under 4 media timeout. And the score, it's number 13 Duke, 70 championship team. And our hand model today is Kevin E. Martin.
That was kind of fun. I got a little nervous.
Is that heavy? It looks pretty heavy.
It's a nice trophy.
Bounce pass from Mayer inside. Spin move. Cotton, no. And back the other way. It's going to be a long time before this game is decided. I have a feeling it's going to take a long time to the final 3. Verhulst. Wow, she started right. She went left. Now spins. Scoops it up. No, she came up short. And we're going to get a held ball situation. Possession arrow pointing in the direction of the Oklahoma Sooners. Terrific job by our good friend Neil Carter at Dawgs and in promoting this event. They are a media gathering organization and much more. And that trophy is exceptional. And also, there's an MVP trophy.
Exactly.
And where's our ballot?
You get some hardware from this tournament. I don't know. We need to have a say in this.
Do we get a say in this? I mean, I'm going on strike. I didn't mean all Vegas people are lazy, just my friends when I said that, because they do extend the weekend. And one, Beers!
Reagan Beers down low off the inbounds pass. Exactly. Like they drew it up. Here she is calling for it. She has positioning, gets the finish. She's an All-American for a reason. 18 points here tonight.
Delaney Thomas came back into the game. And we've got a 1-point ball game, 2:45 to go. Mayer up top. Mayer working on Tot. Here's Richardson popping out. Jackson to zone a matchup for the Oklahoma Sooners. Donovan going to work. Scoop it around. It goes over to Mayer. Mayer penetration floater 2.
Gorgeous touch by Mayer in the lane, floating that up. Nothing but net.
Back to a 3-point advantage. Van stepping up mid-range for 2, Skylar Van. And it's a 1-point lead at 81-80. What a battle. What a battle. Great show, ladies. Terrific. Cashlyn Jackson, as you call her. Richardson, speaking of money. That's money.
What a shot by Reagan Richardson. Her 4th three-pointer on the game.
Ball is knocked out of bounds. Good weak side help by Jaden Donovan. So Donovan, who was shaken up, she's still a little wobbly there.
I'll tell you what, Tony, we knew this was going to be a heavyweight matchup coming into this one, and it has not disappointed. Each team going blow for blow.
Beers is clearing out Thomas underneath. That's an air ball. Peyton Verhall saves it in bounds, but here come the Blue Devils. Fast break. Mayer underneath the basket. She was under too deep. Follow-up whistle foul. Jaden Donovan gets fouled in the act of shooting, so more free throws coming up. Duke has made 5 of its last 7 field goal attempts.
Excellent job there by Duke getting out in transition. The long outlet pass. Mayer sprinting the length of the floor. Didn't get it to fall, but Donovan stayed with it and drew the foul.
We'll see the return of Lexi Keys. Wow, so if Duke wins, who do we want to talk to? Reagan Richardson or Miss Jackson? Ashlyn Jackson.
Yeah, right? So many great players on performances here today. I mean, the big players show up on the biggest stages, and we talked about it pregame. We've been talking about it all game. A top 15 matchup. Duke ranked 13, Oklahoma 8.
Well, the nerve setting in there for Jaden Donovan. She misses the first, but she comes back and makes the second. So Donovan is a sophomore. And after that really bad miss on the first free throw attempt, Reagan Richardson just said, settle down. Just settle down. Here's Van from distance, no. Beers battles, gets the layup off the stick back.
Reagan Beers doing what she does best. Boxing out, getting positioning. Her 5th rebound, now 21 on the game.
Let's go, Duke. You hear the chant across the way. It's Mayer up top, Reagan Richardson. It's either Richardson or Jackson. We're going to try to put this game away. Pull up. There you go. Reagan Richardson. Easy breezy. Or easy peasy. Isn't that what it is? That's called it breezy.
Either one works for Reagan Richardson. That shot is just so pure.
Richardson had back-to-back 25-plus point games in the NCAA tournament. Lane opens up, layup for two, and that was an easy bucket for Lexi Keys.
Great use of her body there to shield the ball from the defender.
We'll keep it right here. 33.9 seconds remaining. Just 3.9 the differential. And so Oklahoma wants to talk things over now. So what is the game plan now for the Sooners trailing by 3? How long do you wait before you foul someone? Because they're going to have to commit a foul.
See, I've always of the belief that obviously you try for the steal, obviously full court pressure, denying.
If she can go to the line and make something happen, although I think they might have taken her out. No, yes, she's not in the game, so they're going to go with their best free throw shooters, but Delaney Thomas will be going to the line.
And they still had a foul to
Have
give.
a foul to give, yep. So not much time ticking off of the clock. And here comes Beer. She had a quick breather. Also checking in is Lexi Keys. So now that was the 5th foul. And so they're going to go, and they fouled Vanessa DeJesus, the grad student from Sierra Canyon, California. So let's see what she could do. She played for the Philippine women's national team. And then again, I mean, this is big for her. That's terrific. If she gets to seal this game, that would be outstanding after missing last season with the knee injury. And they said she was lucky just to be returning. She cashes in with 2 straight freebies, 89-84. And we'll get a quick 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it right here.
And I'll tell you what, this is some uncharted territory for the Oklahoma Sooners as far as this season. I mean, through the first 5 games, every single win was by 30 points. The game against DePaul, they took them down 85-62. They haven't been faced with a close game scenario down the stretch this season. But they do have some shooters. Look for Lexi Keys, maybe. I don't know what Jenny Bronchek is planning.
Do you go for the 3 right away? It's about that time, huh? Then without contact, score inside.
Yeah, 30 seconds still is a lot of time. I think you take what you can get here.
Watch out for Peyton Verhall. She's had the hot hand.
And there you go.
Underneath, a little resistance, but the layup for 2 for Reagan Beers and a quick timeout. This was taken by Duke, I believe, and it's a 3-point game, just a 1-possession game. 28.2 is remaining on the clock. That's it. What a game. It's just been back and forth, and Duke took control there into the second quarter and through most of the third, and they led by as many as 15. The biggest lead for Oklahoma early on was 9 points, and for most of this game, Duke has had the lead. But Oklahoma these are 2 really good, well-coached teams. And it's so early in the season that you know that they're going to be tournament bound. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play either of these teams in the tournament because of the pressure. They play such good pressure defense. It's terrific.
It really is, and they're 2 deep teams that get a lot of production from a lot of different players.
So who do you foul now? Mayer goes to the basket and lays it in. They overplayed her. Nevaeh Tot there overplaying defensively, and Taina Mayer turned that corner and lays it up and in, and that is a costly mistake. They wanted to foul Mayer, but Nevaeh Tot, she overplayed it. She goes down. Mayer to the basket for 2.
So now with 24 seconds left, I think if you're Oklahoma, you have to go for the three. You can, I mean, at this point, you're just training twos, right? And you're not going to cut into the deficit.
5-point lead.
Here today.
Beers crashes down to the basket. She gets a layup for 2 more. So they're trading twos right now. And it's a 3-point lead again. So Duke takes the timeout. I think that they'll have 1 left and 1 timeout remaining for OU with 23.4 seconds to go. Believe it or not, I have 2 more games to call tonight at 4:30 Pacific time. University of North Carolina Greensboro takes on UTEP. And later on at 7 o'clock Pacific time, Long Beach State against San Jose State here in the Ball Dogs Classic.
And you're doing those solo, correct?
Yes, if I could still talk or put together a sentence. You know, I didn't go to Duke, but I'm very smart sometimes. Smarty pants, that is. 3-point advantage for Duke. Let's see how this plays out. I think Oklahoma's done a really good job here in situational basketball, though, other than, losing the coverage there by Nevaeh Tot. So here it is up top, and yeah, they need a foul fast. So they get that foul, and Cashlyn Jackson, as you refer to her, Cash Money Jackson, I call her, will go to the free throw line. That stare down, man, that was the best. Staring me down. Imagine if that 3-pointer at the end of the half is the difference in this game.
I was thinking that. Those are the type of plays that when you go back and watch these 1-possession wins, it's those crazy half quarters or everything's magnified when it's a game like this.
Jackson with a couple of free throws there. And now she's got 18 in the game. Verhulst, 14 seconds remaining. Keys from the corner, and that rolls in! A 3-pointer, it's just a 2-point game.
Oh, wow, Lexi Keys. We know she can shoot from 3, 41% on the season, but that might have been her biggest 3-pointer
of the season. That's right. Because she hit the game-winning triple that beat Texas last year.
Definitely. But here, just clutch right there. Lexi Keys finding the opening. That's why you move without the ball. She faded to the baseline and knocked down that 3. Here it is again. Boom. Rattles in. That's shooter's touch right there. Taking the high bounce off the rim and it falling in.
So it says on the screen 9 seconds. Officially here in the arena, it is 10.6 seconds. So that's the clock, the official clock in the arena. So it's a second, and that could mean a lot in a game like this. But what about Keys making the big shots? They win the conference tournament against Texas after she hits an unbelievable 3-pointer. And here she is. They cut the lead to just 2. Comes in bounds. They better foul fast. And they can't. And they finally caught up. And Mayer's like, gosh, you didn't really foul me. She got past Williams. Mayer wanted to go to the basket again. So there's 6.8 seconds to go. So if Mayer makes one, I think one timeout for OU. Duke is out of timeouts. So let's see how this plays out. Taina Mayer at the free throw line out of Boston, Massachusetts. That's good. And she could seal the deal right here. Unless something miraculously happens in this game, but there's no telling. There's no telling what could happen. It's off. Timeout quickly with 5.7. Off the miss. Taina Mayer misses the second. Beers with the rebound. And here we go. Here we go. Oh, man.
We got a good one here in Henderson, Nevada. This is what it's all about.
We are built for this. We're built for this.
All right, Tony. So if you're Jenny Baranchek, what are you drawing up in that huddle right now?
Oh, is she drawing up the play or her daughter? Is there?
Is it Jordy?
Okay, so Jordy. No, again, I mean, you have enough time to go inside out real fast. So if they could get Beers a high post touch, kick back outside, and get someone, well, I mean, why not Lexi Keys? She just is so clutch for this team. Peyton Verhulst obviously is an option. And I think that those are your two big options here. And I would make sure that my coverage is there for those three players. And if somebody else ties this game up, so be it.
And again, my dark horse is Reagan Beers. She can shoot the three, and I don't, they might be playing off her a bit. So that's my dark horse for this final play.
Here's Verhulst, 5.7. It is a 3-point lead for Duke. Comes in bounds, and Beers gave it up. They passed it over in the corner, and it goes out of bounds off the back of Ashlyn Jackson. So she disrupts that play. Now just 2 seconds remaining. They send in Raina Scott. Beers comes out of the game. So now it is just a 3-point attempt, and that's it. So Verhulst got open outside. She pulls up for the three. It's in the air. It's good! We are going to overtime. It is good. The bucket is good.
What a clutch shot by Peyton Verhulst. Ice in her veins. They will review it, but from our angle, it looked good.
Off balance, drills that 3-point attempt. The refs are coming in behind us. And speak about disruption, they're going to disrupt our replay because they're looking at the replay. Just kidding.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Peyton Verhulst, like you said, off balance, falling to her left with the righty release, 26 on the game, her third three. That one was clutch.
This game is everything and more that we expected.
Again, we knew top 15 matchup. It was going to be a heavyweight battle, and every single time Oklahoma threw a blow, Duke answered right back, and vice versa. And here we are. If it does indeed count, it does. We are headed
Good.
into
We're
OT.
going to overtime here in Henderson, Nevada. Such drama in the Dawgs Classic. That was amazing. Fell out of my chair. That was terrific. What an ending. Well, it's not over yet, but the end of regulation on the 3-point jumper by Peyton Verhulst, the senior from Kansas, DeSoto, Kansas. Let's take a look.
I mean, excellent defense. You can't do much more there, but just better offense. Another angle falling
that's out of her hand.
bounds.
Yeah, it was out of her hand before the light went off there on the backboard. The ball left her hands. I mean, just a quick trigger. She didn't have time to set herself, really. Oh, my goodness. We've got OT, 5 minutes of overtime here at the Dawgs Classic.
Unreal. And we are front row center for it.
We sure are. Are there any more stare downs to me in this contest? Here's Van for three. No, off the mark. Saved in bounds. And here's Beers down the lane. Shot rejected and a foul. So that foul, I think that was Jaden Donovan underneath. It was. Uh-oh. Beers is a little wobbly. Oh, my goodness. Jeez. Okay,
Yeah,
they helped her up. Wow. Is she okay? Like, she looked a little dazed there for a second. Can someone... So they're shooting on this end into an area where they need to close the curtains.
Oh, yeah, there is a lot of sun coming through there.
There's a light that comes through there. Jerry Jones.
I was just going to say, don't tell Jerry Jones that.
She just looked wobbly, and she misses the first free throw. Beers. She got walloped on the foul. Second free throw's good. It's a 1-point lead for OU, and their first advantage since that first quarter of play.
Unbelievable.
Just underway in overtime. Richardson. Thomas on the post move. Thomas lay it up. No, short. Verhulst with the rebound. Kick out. Nevaeh Tot. Verhulst down in the low block and a tripping foul. That's what's going to happen on Delaney Thomas as, once again, Reagan Beers winds up on her backside.
And Kara Lawson wants a review again. I'm not sure if they will. Oh, they overturned
the call. So I'm just wondering what the process was into overturning that call. So they overturned it. Okay, so it will be Duke basketball.
Interesting.
Wasn't that? That was a very interesting call. And just how quick they did it after Lawson had asked for a replay. Here's Richardson around a screen, pull-up jumper. That's money. That is cash money right there.
Reagan Richardson, automatic.
Fatigue could be setting in too. Here's Nevaeh Tot for three. Off the iron, out of bounds. It goes back to Duke. I don't know if Oklahoma can handle its success because they can't get any distance when they had the lead. It was just 1 point here in overtime. I think they like to play from behind and like to have the drama. At the end of regulation, a couple of key triples. Lexi Keys and then Peyton Verhulst. And here's Reagan Richardson inside the three-point arc.
Again, Reagan Richardson, automatic.
29 points now for Reagan Richardson.
11 of 20 from the field, 50% from behind the arc, 4 threes, perfect free throws, 3 of 3, 6 assists.
I like her fluidity. I like how fluid she is. She's very decisive. She knows what she's going to do with the basketball. Fluidity.
That's a good word. You are smart.
Tot on the cross. Up top for Verhulst. Looking for a cutter. Takes it herself, backing down. Tot missed a three. Guess what? She steps out of bounds on the sideline. Again, that issue
that we've been talking about. Again, we don't know for sure if it is a factor, but the number of players that have stepped out of bounds in these games, the referees said they've never seen anything like it. So the color scheme could be playing a part of that.
Yes, it doesn't really, there's not like a white shade there's not a white sideline, and so it goes from like a beige to a brown, but for some reason the players are not picking up on it. Well, that's so interesting, and one of the officials had told us earlier, she did a game, one of the games this week, she goes 3 times. Players are just standing out of bounds, and she goes, that could be the reason why.
Right. Very interesting.
That free throw is off. So Richardson with a rare miss on a free throw attempt. Now 3 out of 4 from the line. 98, make it 99 to 95. Quickly, nice deflection out of bounds by Jaden Donovan. She played that passing lane just fine, very well. And they're looking for the basketball. All right, a UTEP player retrieving it. We're going to be backed up, I think, on these games now because of this one going late. Skylar Van up top. Verhulst from distance, drains it.
Nothing but net. What a beautiful stroke by Peyton Verhulst. She now has 4 threes on the game.
The fans that are here today live watching this game are going to be telling their friends about this one, that they were here to witness it live because we've seen so much drama. Jackson, she stops. Here's Thomas, tees it up. Line drive, and that is good for 2. 3-point advantage.
Delaney Thomas did not stop moving on that possession at all, and it resulted in a wide open jumper.
Backdoor cut Underneath, that's Zia Van off the miss. She got her own rebound, and she gets fouled in the act, and she will go to the free throw line. The foul will be against Richardson, just her second personal foul. Taina Mayer's been playing with 4 fouls for an eternity.
Yeah, that's been a huge. She's had to be careful, right? I think she picked that up in the third, early in the third, if I remember correctly.
And so here's Zia Van, just a freshman. Again, this is where you grow up. Every free throw matters at this stage. Every point matters, as we've seen.
And again, we talked about how Oklahoma in their first 5 games of the season have not faced this.
Second free throw good. It's back to a 2-point game, but possession going to Duke. Possession arrow also is favoring Duke if it comes down to that. Each team with a timeout remaining here in overtime. Mayer up top, it's Jackson. Verholtz to guard. Bounce pass underneath. Oh, nice interior passing and the finish underneath for Jaden Donovan. And we've got a turnover now. In a 4-point ball game. Costly miscue. The freshman comes out. Zia Van, and returning back in is Nevaeh Tot. And so we're going to get a timeout, and we'll take a break as well. It is Duke 103, Oklahoma 99. In overtime, with 1:42 to go, they're going to go to the replay booth, and I think we can step aside. So they checked the call on the court, and it was indeed a turnover. And so Duke will have possession of the ball. And the Blue Devils are up by 4 with a minute and a half to go in overtime here from Henderson, Nevada, and Lee's Family Forum. Using a lot of clock. And then that's Reagan Richardson, 32 now. Richardson a season ago had 7 games of 20 or more. She's got 32 points today. Her team leading by 6. Here's Beers underneath. Beers maneuvering underneath. And they called an offensive foul. 4th personal foul on Reagan Beers, backing down. It's going to be interesting with Oklahoma in the Southeastern Conference this season.
Yeah, that conference before the conference realignment was already stacked.
The bounce pass underneath. Now they kick it back outside. And Richardson sizes up a triple and buries it. 35 for Reagan Richardson. 108-99. Oklahoma is unraveling right now.
And Reagan finally shows a little emotion. She has been stone cold the entire time.
She's a stone cold assassin is what she is.
Flashed a little smile there finally. But she's been so locked in. Man, oh man, automatic today. 13 of 22, 5 3-pointers, 35 points.
I think I heard an MVP chant there for Reagan Richardson. There is a MVP trophy too. I know you were the hand model with the team trophy, but
I got to put that on my resume now.
I know that.
Got to update the resume today.
Exactly, held the championship trophy. And that second one just rolls out of there for Jaden Donovan. Let's see if Oklahoma, they're a team that just does not go away. And now they're going to probably have to go away because they're not connecting. Top for 3, front iron off. Thomas rebound, 18 seconds to go. Held ball, possession arrow favoring Duke. And you would think that this was a one-possession game the way Jenny Baranchek is coaching across from us. 17.9. Delaney Thomas checks out. Jaden Donovan checking out of the game. What a game. This is unbelievable. I mean, in overtime, just so much fun. Miraculous shot by Peyton Verhulst as time expired at the end of regulation on a triple. No heroics now for OU. They might just let this run out. So the Sooners suffering defeat number 1 on the season. They fall to 6-1. Duke now 7-1. And the two coaches shaking hands across the way. And the Duke Blue Devils are the champions of the Ball Dogs Classic. And it was, folks, an absolute classic. What a game.
What a game. We were looking forward to it all day long, and it did not disappoint. And what a performance by Reagan Richardson. 35 points, 5 3-pointers, 7 assists. She did it all tonight for the Duke Blue Devils.